Okay, let's talk about a world that's a lot closer than you might think. A world where your business is basically run by a team of autonomous AI agents. In this explainer, we are jumping ahead to 2026 to really dig into the architecture of these new AI systems. We're going to look at how they're built, how they're controlled, and, most importantly, how they are already completely transforming the enterprise.
So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the massive shift happening in the industry. Then we'll get into the really cool stuff, the nitty-gritty of engineering an agent's mind. After that, we'll talk about building the guardrails you absolutely need to keep them safe, see how they all work together in these big multi-agent systems, and finally, wrap up with what this all means for you and your job.
All right, so let's picture it. It's 2026. The dust has settled from all the initial AI hype, and we are now deep in a new era, an era that is laser-focused on one thing: measurable business results. This is the point where AI stops being this cool science project and starts actually paying the bills.
The key phrase here, the one you really need to hear, is structural assimilation. We're not just talking about adding a neat AI feature to an app anymore. No way. This is about fundamentally rebuilding business processes around these autonomous agents, making them just as essential as your company's Wi-Fi or your databases.
And this slide, it just nails the new mindset perfectly. The whole conversation has changed. It's not, wow, what can this AI do anymore? Now it's, okay, what's our cost per automated action? We're talking hard numbers, real unit economics, the kind of stuff that shows up on a CFO's dashboard. It's all about efficiency, reliability, and, you guessed it, a tangible return on investment.
And the numbers completely back this up. I mean, look at this. A leap from less than 5% to 40% for agent integration into enterprise apps? That's not just growth, that is an absolute explosion. The market valuation is set to double. And this crazy fast adoption is all thanks to this big shift towards systems that are ready for production and totally focused on ROI.
Okay, so how do we actually build these incredibly powerful agents? Well, it all starts with how we talk to them, how we instruct them. The entire field we used to call prompt engineering has gone through a total revolution. It's gone from this kind of quirky, unpredictable art form to a serious, rigorous engineering discipline.
This comparison just says it all, doesn't it? That old idea of prompt whispering, where you'd manually tweak some text, hoping to get the right response, that's over. It's obsolete. In 2026, it is all about declarative AI programming. Think of it like the massive leap we made from writing in low-level assembly language to using a high-level language like Python. You just define the logic you want, and an optimizer automatically figures out the best possible prompt. That's what makes agent behavior reliable and, crucially, scalable.
Now this is where things get really, really interesting. We're talking about self-evolving agents. These are systems that can literally learn on the job, they can spot their own mistakes, and then rewrite their own instructions to get better next time. And listen, this isn't just some technical detail. This is the absolute key to building autonomous systems that can actually handle the messy, unpredictable nature of the real world.
So how does this self-evolving loop actually work? Well, it's basically a four-step cycle. First, you have an agent that performs a task. Then its work gets graded. And often it's graded by another AI, something called an LLM as a judge. If that score is too low, the system automatically cooks up a better prompt and the agent tries again, becoming the new and improved baseline. This cycle just keeps going and going until the agent's performance is consistently great. And there are a few different ways to get this done. Teams can use anything from these rapid visual optimizers for quick fixes, all the way to fully automated loops that are guided by a master metaprompt. But the most advanced method is called GPAW. This is where agents actually reflect on their own performance to genetically evolve better versions of their own instructions. It's a really powerful example of how prompt and context engineering is becoming a core part of the whole AI development lifecycle.
Okay, with this much power and this much autonomy, control becomes absolutely 100% critical, right? You can't just unleash thousands of these self-evolving agents into your company without a serious professional governance framework. This next part is all about how you manage that risk.
This right here, this is the nightmare scenario. It's what keeps IT leaders up at night. AI sprawl. It's what happens when every single team in a company starts deploying their own AI agents with zero central oversight. And the result? It's a total chaotic mess of security holes and massive compliance risks. And that is where professional governance becomes not just nice to have, but essential.
And hey, if you're not convinced, just look at this number, 75%. A 75% drop in security incidents. That's the real power of professional governance. It's not just about playing it safe. It's a massive competitive advantage. Companies that have strong guardrails can deploy AI way more confidently and aggressively than their rivals.
So how do you actually do this? The Superwise playbook gives us a super clear 5-step framework. It all starts with step 1. Give every single agent a unique identity. You need to be able to track them. From there, you monitor their behavior in real time, you use automated guardrails to enforce your policies, you lock down how they access data, and finally, you treat compliance as code that can be continuously audited. It's this systematic approach that lets you build a safe and scalable AI-powered organization.
All right, so we've engineered our individual agents, and we've secured them with guardrails. Now, let's zoom out, because the most complex business problems, they can't be solved by just one agent. They require a team, a whole collaborative digital workforce.
This is where we go from thinking about a single AI to a full-blown multi-agent system. Think of it like a digital assembly line, right? You've got your planner agent, your researcher agent, your executor agent. Each one has a specialized job. But for that whole assembly line to work, all the agents have to be able to communicate and coordinate perfectly. And for that, they need a common language.
And that's exactly where these protocols come in. You've got the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. Think of it as the USB-C of AI. It's a universal standard for connecting to tools and data. Then there's the Agent Communication Protocol, or ACP. That's basically Slack and Jira for agents to manage their tasks. And the A2A protocol lets them collaborate directly, peer-to-peer. These protocols are the literal building blocks of a cohesive digital workforce.
Let's just zoom in on MCP for a second, because it is so important. Before MCP, if you wanted to connect an agent to a new database or some internal tool, you had to write custom, fragile code every single time. With this standard, it's as simple as plugging in a USB drive. It just works. This is what makes a truly interoperable ecosystem possible, where context and tools can be shared seamlessly across your entire agent workforce.
Wow, we have covered a lot of ground, from engineering the mind of a single agent all the way to orchestrating a whole symphony of them. So, the big question is, what does this all mean for you, the human in the loop? Okay, so what are the big takeaways here? First, the age of AI for AI's sake, it's over. It is all about ROI now. Second, prompting isn't an art anymore. It's a serious engineering discipline. Third, governance isn't optional. It's the foundation you build on. Fourth, the future is all about these multi-agent systems, all talking to each other through shared protocols. And finally, and this is the most important one, our role is changing. We're shifting from being the doer to being the designer, from executing tasks to managing the systems that do the tasks.
And that really brings us to the final and I think pretty provocative thought here. The future of work isn't about competing with AI agents. It's about managing them. Your job becomes more like an architect, an overseer, a strategist for an entire digital workforce. So the question isn't whether this is coming, it's are you ready to make that shift?